and welcome back to the Differentials YouTube channel. Today I'm joined just by Aaron.
Yeah, it's the best duo.
Yeah, exactly best duo. And we've both created a list of people we think you guys should look out for in the upcoming game weeks in order to move up your mini leagues. Let's start off with Arsenal. On my list, I've got Callum Chambers. Looking at Arsenal's fixtures, they're looking banging, to be honest. And if they don't get a clean sheet from those, honestly, just relegate them. Just there's no excuse for not even getting a clean sheet. He's 4.4, so I'm really seeing potential there.
But is he locked on though, like to start?
Yeah, he is, especially because Bellerin's gone. I found out today Bellerin's not there, so I'm pretty sure he's locked on.
Yeah, that's fair. I saw the fixtures as well. They're pretty easy, and I thought the more attacking route. And I've gone for Odegaard. He's pretty cheap. He's only 5.5, and I think he's a locked on starter as well because of like the price they paid, and he's quite good.
Wow,
And he's like normally involved, so I think he'd be a good asset.
was he not like 7 million last season?
Yeah, he's really expensive. Yeah, last season because I had him. I had him for not really expensive, but for an Arsenal player, it was quite expensive. And then, I brought him in. He did nothing. I brought him in for a specific. He was like my differential for like a while. Part of like.
Oh, yeah, I remember that actually. When you had the terrible part.
Yeah, part of my slump. I captained him one week, and he didn't even play. It was so bad. Yeah, but I have more faith in him. I think he can get Arsenal out of this slump. And yeah, I think he'll be providing like Aubameyang.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's quite a good call, especially at that price. 5.5 is quite a steal. I didn't realize he was that cheap. Did not realize he was that cheap.
Yeah, I was looking. I was also thinking of a defender at the time, but the thing with Arsenal is that their defense is just not good. I was thinking about the new Tobayashi. You know is that what his name is?
Like Tomiyasu or something.
Tomiyasu, yeah, that's it. Because they just bought him, and I think he'll be a guaranteed start. Or I mean, he could play right back. He could play centre back. And I think Arsenal might go 5 at the back, just because they need to improve their defense. So I think adding him will be quite good as well.
Yeah, definitely good for my Chambers call. I'd have to say, backing myself.
Okay.
Right, next on the list, we've got Aston Villa. Aaron, who have you got? Since it's your team, I'll let you.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to give a bit of like knowledge to this. First of all, half our team is injured. Okay, or like not available, because first of all, Buendia Martinez decided that Argentina was better than Villa, which I'm not happy with. But I respect it. And secondly, McGinn can't be around people that don't have COVID, so he has to self-isolate. But then our defense can't stay fit. It's a crisis. So I've gone for a young player who's like our best prospect in age since Grealish. Is Carney Chukwuemeka. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm not going to try. But yeah, Carney Chukwuemeka. He is. I think he's a locked-on star against Chelsea because he's our best attacking mid behind our first team players, basically. And I think that Dean Smith tried him against Chelsea last season, and he's been playing as a sub in the last couple of games, and he impressed in the League Cup. So I would start him, and I think he'd be very good because he's a very attacking player. He's only 4.5, and to keep him in for a couple of games, I think he'd be worth it. Because especially with the injury crisis going around.
Yeah, I agree. Villa's fixtures are not looking very good, but a 4.5 guaranteed starter in the attacking midfield would definitely be quite nice, I'd have to say. May have to consider him for my wild card.
Who have you got then?
I've got El Ghazi.
Ooh.
So when I went over Villa midfielders, about everyone was flagged except El Ghazi. So I'm gonna go with El Ghazi simply because I know that when he plays, he takes pens over Ings as well.
Yeah.
Not only is he probably a guaranteed start now with everyone out, he's also on pens, which we know. So I feel like that 6 million price tag could be really nice.
He also shoots from anywhere. So you're guaranteed to get a cheeky goal. Probably one's going to trickle in. Because every time he gets the ball, he shoots. It's unreal. and like one of them's gonna have to go in at some point. So yeah, that's a good bet.
Exactly. I've got Brentford next on the list.
Yeah.
I've gone with someone who I've had in my like original draft, which I made.
Ooh.
I think it was back in July, because I went over Brentford's stats from last season. And he was the best midfielder on the team. He's had 3 stars in 3 games, not got a return yet, but his name's Mbeumo, something like
Oh
that.
no, it's the
Mbeumo.
same guy. No way.
And he's 5.5. It's quite good, I'd say. Do you have anything to say about him still?
I mean, the only reason I have him is because he plays striker alongside Tony, and he's a midfielder in this game. So I thought at some point, because he plays so attacking, he's bound to get a return.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, as soon as you were talking about like a midfielder from last season and your stats and stuff, I was just like, it's gonna be Mbeumo, right?
Yeah. Who've you
Okay,
got? Who've you got down for Brighton, Aaron?
okay, so for Brian, it's kind of like a bit funky because the thing with Brian is that Brian's defense is quite good, so I could have easily gone for a defender here. I decided to go for a more attacking player called McAllister, who I've seen play a couple times, and he is very attacking. This season, he has been quite involved with the attacking front from the game I watched, which wasn't very exciting. I'm not gonna lie, against Everton, but he did play, and the Burnley game earlier, he did score a goal as well. So I think for 5.5, he could be a good asset. And considering the fixtures are against like Brentford, Crystal Palace coming up, he'd be nice to have. As in, yeah, just in case, because he's a guaranteed starter as well.
Yeah, I've gone with the defensive side. I've gone with Duffy. He's actually quite highly owned because he's 4.2 only, and he's got a guaranteed start. I'm pretty sure. I think he started 3 from 3, and he's done really well. And no, I think he's even scored in one of them. So I'm pretty sure he'll keep playing. So at 4.2, I reckon he could be quite a bargain for your FPL team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's a looked-on starter because Dan Burns injured, but I don't know how long he'll be starting, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, but if he plays really well, he might even replace him. Let's be honest. Dan Burn was that good.
Okay, so Burnley now, yeah?
Yeah. I've got right. Listen, I've watched a few Burnley games last season. I've watched, I think, one this season. I watched it against Liverpool. Their game against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And this guy called Dwight McNeil, I think his first name.
Oh, yeah. Dwight McNeil.
Yeah. I swear, every time Burnley have an attack, he's on the ball somewhere.
He's a baller, yeah.
Like, ever since last season, I've wanted to get him, but there are always better options. He's 5.9, and they're definitely better even in the list that we've just said. So
yeah,
like,
he's still such a good prospect as well.
If you want a Burnley player, I'd go with McNeil.
I mean, I've taken like basically you've gone for attacker, I've gone for the defender, and for example, like Alex had him last year and he did very well. His name is Matthew Lowton. Yeah. The thing with Lowton is that he is a very attacking right back. He's a guaranteed start. And for example, like last season, Alex happened to captain him when he scored his first goal ever for Burnley. Absolutely ridiculous.
2016.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, but like he has an attacking threat, and Burnley are normally quite solid-ish at the back because they play such a aggressive style of football. So hopefully, maybe he can get some returns. He's good to have for 4.5. He is quite cheap.
Yeah, 4.5. That's quite nice for a guaranteed starter.
Yeah.
All right, for Chelsea, we've had difficulties picking players for Chelsea because it's just really hard to choose someone who will rarely get rotated. But Aaron and I have both gone with Christensen. He's 5 million, and at the moment he's starting over Silva. I don't know whether that's because of an injury or whether he's just overall starting over Thiago Silva. But at 5 million, he could be quite a cheap and nice route into a stable Chelsea defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when it's an easy opponent, it's a guaranteed clean sheet for Chelsea because they are very good defensively. And Christensen's quite underrated as well. I think he's a good player himself, and he's a threat from corners. He's quite tall. And for 5.0, for 5, that's it.
Yeah, for
Like, yeah. So I think he'd be good. Like, you may be put off by the whole centre back thing, but he is a guy. He's a guaranteed clean sheet against an easy opponent, and the corner threat is just unreal.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Plus the fullbacks for Chelsea have a definite high risk of rotation. I'd have to say.
yeah. It's like James Alonso, like Abdul
Chilwell.
Quetta and Chilwell. Yeah, I wouldn't go near them, but like whoever is playing out of them normally gets points, so it's quite hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a difficult situation.
Okay.
Yeah, for Crystal Palace, I've gone with someone called MacArthur.
Oh,
He's
McCarthy.
I went over the midfielders and the defenders and the attackers, and he was like the cheapest Donny who was getting returns as well. So I've gone with him. He's 4.7. He started every single one of the games. He even got a return, I think.
Yeah, he got an
So
assist. Yeah, I just saw.
yeah, exactly. So
Right.
um, yeah, I wouldn't really keep anyone other than him. Wait, what? He's not 4.7 actually, guys. He's
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
what am I
cheaper.
watching? He's 4.5. He's actually a steal.
Yeah.
He's a steal. Get him in your FPL teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, for Palace, like I was leaning towards Conor Gallagher. I mean, especially after he scored 2 goals in the last game, I
Oh
thought he'd
yeah.
just be a steal.
How much is he? Oh,
He's 5.5.
5.
Yeah, but
What?
the thing is, I've not chosen him, and I've decided to go for Edward. Okay, yeah, you may call me
Oh,
crazy, but especially when there's Gallagher available. But the thing with Edward is that he just got signed from Celtic. He was a baller for Celtic. He scored the majority of their goals, and I feel like he'll come and be an instant impact. But especially with like Zaha providing him, and especially with like Eze out, he'll be more focused towards him. And especially like the striking options for Palace are not very good, so I think he'll be a guaranteed start at the end of the day. And Palace have to score goals from somewhere, and I think Edward will be their best bet. But normally, I
yeah.
wouldn't take anyone from Palace. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Palace isn't really the team to go for, in my opinion, FPL wise. They always
yeah,
somehow manage to stay in the Premier League, but not really in FPL terms. All
yeah.
right. For Everton, I've got a player coming in at a whopping 6.9.
Oh, we don't have the
Uh,
same.
yeah, I don't know who you have, but I've got Sigurdsson. I've gone with Sigurdsson. He's a real beast. I think he should get right in your teams. He's I'd say
He's
he's a
like
guaranteed start for the
he's
side.
almost he's also on free kicks, right?
Yeah, he's on all sorts of um what is it?
Set
Like
pieces.
set pieces. Yeah, he just bangs them in. He bangs them in.
Yeah, he is
Doesn't
a really good baller, especially from Iceland. I hate Iceland because of like Euro 2016, but he's the best Icelandic player.
Yeah, I think he's the best, but he's contender for player of the season, along
Yeah.
with like Ben Mendy and people.
Okay, I've gone for like a much cheaper option. He's actually in my fantasy team now, and he scored last game. Damari Gray. I think he's an absolute steal for like the 2 million fee like Everton got him for. Absolute steal, and I think he's always involved in the attacks. He's guaranteed to be. No, he's not guaranteed to be. I want my waffling. He's normally involved, and the thing with Everton is that they're struggling with their winger options. So I think could be a good asset to have. Yeah, and he did score last game as soon as I brought him in, so I
Yeah,
recommend getting him for 5.5. He's such a steal.
that that's valid. That's valid. Still don't think he's better than my option. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
have to back. I really have to back Guilty here. I
Sigurdsson's such
really
a
do.
he's such a baller.
Yeah, he's a king.
Leeds.
The king. For Leeds, all right. I've gone with Harrison simply because even though Dan James has come, and that probably makes Rafinha the second striker, along with Bamford, I just didn't want to be boring. Just didn't want to go with Rafinha because staying the obvious isn't the way. But Harrison, from what I've gathered, he was the sixth highest scoring midfielder last season, and he's coming at a price of 5.9. So I'd really say if you've got a 6 mil midfielder, you're probably better off changing him to Harrison.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I've gone for a defensive option because after Liverpool, they have very easy fixtures, and I feel like there'll be some clean sheets in there, and especially for a fullback by the name of Ayling, who's already scored a goal this season, and for 4.5, he's an absolute steal. You may already have him, but I would get him because he does go forward quite a lot. And Leeds are fairly good. No, they're bad defensively. While I'm waffling, Leeds are very bad defensively, but he has also the attacking threat. And hopefully, for teams against like Southampton and Norwich, will be able to get some clean sheets in there. Yeah, but he's very good on his day as well. 4.5. Like, why not have him?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. For Leicester, I've gone with this left back they have I think he came from the academy. His name's Thomas. He
Oh
comes
yeah,
in at 4.5, and I think he started off playing instead of Castagna because of an injury, because Castagna got injured. But Castagna was benched in the past few games because they played Thomas instead. So if that keeps going, I definitely say he's an option for your FPL team. I think Leicester have decent fixtures, I'm not sure. But 4.5 for a guaranteed start is quite nice, especially on a strong defensive side like Leicester.
yeah. I mean, he is a good option, but the whole Castagna problem is like what put me off putting him. I went for Albrighton, and the thing with Albrighton is that he has been getting returns the last couple of games. He does seem to be a locked-on starter because of all the injuries they're having, and considering like he's not normally involved, like if compared to players like Maddison and stuff, he played the last game against Norwich and he scored, so I can see him playing for next game against City. I doubt he'll get a return in that game, but like the upcoming fixtures against Brighton, Burnley, Palace, they're screaming for like someone to score. I feel like, especially how clinical he is.
How
Yeah, I
much?
think he'd be good. 5.4 he is.
5.4. Not
Yeah,
bad.
and he's only been selected by 0.2, so it could be a cheeky
Oh wow.
differential.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could be definitely moving on. Like moving on in the season, I'd say. If he keeps up his starting position in the team, he could be quite good. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Part 2 will be out soon, obviously. Aaron and I gonna be in it, obviously, just the two of us. But yeah, I think that's all from us for part 1. Obviously, we want to apologize for making it 2 parts. We know that that is quite inconvenient. But other than that, we want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you had a good time doing it, and hope to see you next time. Please drop a like and subscribe. It would really help us out. Thank you guys.